Hey everyone, have you ever woken up from a dream and just thought, what on earth was that? Yeah, you're not alone. Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating mysteries of the human mind. Why do we even dream? That's the big question, right? Why does our brain, every single night, decide to become a movie director, a screenwriter, and a special effects artist all at once, while we're completely asleep? It creates these incredible movies in our heads. Sometimes they're hilarious, sometimes they're scary, and a lot of the time they are just plain weird. So you probably think that when you hit the pillow, everything just shuts down for the night, right? Like it's time for some system maintenance. And sure, your body gets a much needed rest. But your brain, oh, that is a whole different story. It is buzzing with activity, working one of its most important shifts of the entire day. And honestly, the best way to think about it is this. As your body is powering down, your brain is firing up its very own movie studio. Seriously, it's getting everything ready for a big premiere. And the movie is written by, directed by, and starring, well, you. Okay, so if our brain is a film studio, then every good movie needs a script. So where in the world do these wild stories even come from? What are the ingredients for these nightly blockbusters of ours? Well, the ingredients are actually surprisingly simple. Think of your brain as a master chef. It's just mixing together all these little bits and pieces from your life. It might grab the face of someone you saw on the bus today, a memory from a childhood vacation, that stress you've been feeling about a work deadline, and then it adds a big dash of pure, wild imagination. It just throws it all into a blender, hits puree, and boom, you've got a dream. All right, so now we know what our dreams are made of. But why? Why does the brain even bother with all this? What's the point of all this nightly filmmaking? Well, it turns out your brain is also running a super important cleanup crew. So here's what's going on. Your brain literally spends the night sorting through everything from your day. Just think about all the stuff you take in, conversations, things you read, sights, sounds, all of it. This whole process is called memory consolidation. And it's not just about tidying up. It is absolutely crucial for learning new things and making sure new skills actually stick. It's a lot like cleaning your room, actually. You go through everything, right? Some things you put away neatly because you want to keep them, and other stuff like old junk mail or receipts, you just toss in the trash. Dreaming is a huge part of how your brain does that. It tidies up your mind, and that makes space for all the new stuff you're going to learn tomorrow. Okay, and this brings us to my favorite part, the part we can all relate to, the absolute total weirdness of dreams. I'm talking flying elephants, talking squirrels, that classic dream where you show up to work in your pajamas. Why does this happen? Well, this is where the brain's special effects department gets a practically unlimited budget and absolutely zero adult supervision. So there's actually some cool science behind all the weird stuff. See, during a dream, the part of your brain that handles logic and reason, the prefrontal cortex, it kind of takes a nap. But at the exact same time, the parts for emotion and imagination are firing on all cylinders. So what you get is all the creativity in the world, with none of the rules to hold it back. And the result? It's a world with no limits. That's why in a dream, flying just feels normal. Or having a deep conversation with your dog about the meaning of life, yeah, makes total sense. And get this, it's not just for kicks. Some researchers think this is like our brain's sandbox. It's a place where it can just mash ideas together in totally new ways, maybe even to help us solve problems we're stuck on when we're awake. But of course, not all of these brain movies are fun adventures, are they? Sometimes, the studio decides to produce a full-on horror film. So what's actually going on when our dreams take that dark, scary turn and become a nightmare? Well, nightmares are basically the same process we've been talking about, just with different ingredients. Your brain is trying to process really powerful negative emotions. So if you had a super stressful day, your brain might just turn those feelings of anxiety and fear into a scary story. It's actually a way of confronting those emotions in a safe space. It can help you handle your feelings and maybe even prepare you for tough stuff in the real world. Okay, so we've got the script, we know the director's purpose, and we've talked about the wild special effects. Now, let's put it all together. Time for the final cut. So all this magic, it happens during a really specific stage of sleep called REM sleep. REM stands for rapid eye movement. And that's literally what happens. Behind your eyelids, your eyes are darting back and forth like crazy. Your brain activity is almost as high as it is when you're awake, which makes it the absolute perfect time for those really vivid dreams. So let's go back to our movie metaphor. If going to sleep is like walking into the movie theater, then REM sleep is when the main feature actually starts. The lights go down, the brain's projector clicks on, and those complex, vivid dreams just come to life on the big screen of your mind. So when you put it all together, what is the point of dreaming? Well, it looks like our brain is doing a few really important jobs all at once. One idea is that it's like a virtual reality training session, kind of like a flight simulator for life, getting you ready for different situations. We also know for sure it's organizing your memories, figuring out what's important enough to keep. And yeah, it's also being a total creative powerhouse, your own personal filmmaker, coming up with new ideas and insights just for you. And all that leaves us with just one final thought. Tonight, when you get ready for bed, just remember, your own personal film studio is getting ready for its next big premiere. So the only question is, what kind of movie is it going to make? A comedy, an adventure, or something just wonderfully weird? Sweet dreams.